If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, "He was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these alone." We are all full of errors. Instead of highlighting others' flaws, we should focus on self-insight. You see some people backbiting about others in front of you, and how come you think he will not do the same about you? There are particular groups of people everywhere who are hell-bent on criticizing and mocking others for nothing. Try to avoid such evil-full people and remember their opinion hardly matters to you. You see, everything we hear is just an opinion, not a fact, and you need to let it go what people think about you. If someone comes and tells you about your shortcomings, tell them more, as we all are perfectly imperfect, and that's perfectly fine. You also do not give them an explanation, as they do not deserve one. Do not waste your time in proving right to the people, as you cannot make everyone happy. Even if you try to make others happy, you will end up losing yourself. Always remember that your mental peace is the foremost important thing, and that's what matters. Do not pay heed to all the bullshit out there, what people say about you. Just focus on your goals and learn from your mistakes. This will take you way ahead regardless of your opposition. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Life is too short to indulge in excessive materialism. Not necessarily those with material possessions are rich, but those who have few wishes. Material possessions do not always bring satisfaction unless you are content and happy inside. If you have greed for property and possessions, you will longer more likely to use fair and unfair means to acquire more and more wealth. It will make you morally corrupt without any norms and values. But if you are the one who finds happiness with what you have, then you will have no worries ahead. You are truly rich only when you have few desires, which you can practically achieve as well. Some people resolve to get excessively rich and still are not happy with what they have. You need to avoid such greed, otherwise you will be despised forever. As there is no end to the wishes of those whose stomach is full of greed for aggrandizement. We need to find happiness in what little we achieve. Life is not that long to accumulate massive wealth. If you are blessed with abundant resources, try to donate some to charitable tasks, as it will keep you calm inside and give you internal happiness. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond our power or our will. The outcome of certain actions is not under our control, and we need to understand that. There is no use to worrying about things which you cannot control. What is inevitable will be so. You cannot undo that, and once you realize that, you will be less stressful about the results. You need to do one thing, and that's to give your best and leave the rest. You should not be left with any regrets regarding your struggle. Then, regardless of the results, you will be a truly happy person. We come to this world with empty hands and leave this planet with empty hands. From this point, we get to know nothing lasts forever and everything has come to an end. In this life, we set up our goals and then keep expectations of winning and losing. Often we feel fearful of the results, we feel the possibilities and then plan accordingly. But if you have overpowered the fear of losing, then you cannot be defeated in any field. Fear of anything puts you down and damages your natural potential. So whenever you encounter any such fear of anything, Just let go of it, as it's the slow poison which will kill you inside. Once you make up your mind to face all the situations, whether you love it or not, you will give your maximum and turn the tables in your favor. Some people are opposed to the self-fear of losing the people and things. This attitude makes them dependent on others and creates the greed of materialism. You need to keep your mind light and face all the demons with bravery and great courage. Don't just say you have read books. Show that through them you have learned to think better, to be a more discriminating and reflective person. Books are the training weights of the mind. They are very helpful, but it would be a bad mistake to suppose that one has made progress simply by having internalized their contents. As the food is necessary for the physical growth and the same for the mental growth, books are of utmost importance. They are life lessons which we can embody. Not just reading is enough. Rather, you need to understand them and implement them through your actions. Some people speak of reading a number of books theoretically, but on the other hand, they lack the action part. Good books tell you the virtue of leading a pleasant life. You intend towards rationality instead of traditionalism. You question and develop your concepts and subsequently implement them in your life. Mere reading the books and mastering theory is not enough. Rather, you need to embody it and feel the change. They will train you to bear the difficult situations with a brave heart. Books improve your ideas and overall thought process. You start thinking beyond traditional means and develop a visionary approach. It will equip you with such power which ordinary people lack. You will go deep into the roots of problems and solve them through your understanding of books. Thus, develop your habit of book reading if you really want to live an enjoyable life. Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems. As they say, we often suffer more in imagination than reality. Real situations hardly bring any fear as our own thoughts do. When you overthink about certain things, it will bring misery and trouble to you. You try to jump to conclusions far from reality. As a result, you become restless and upset. It will rather harm your potential than do any good. You need to learn that certain happenings are beyond your control and you need to let it go. Worrying and despising yourself won't help, rather it will add fuel to the fire. Accept the reality as it is and become content. We become what we repeatedly do and think about. If we feed positivity and good thoughts to our mind, it'll act like one. As the Stoics rightly say, everything we hear is just an opinion, not the truth. Everything we see is only a perspective, not the fact. If we see things through a prism of hope, positivity, and good vibes, it will certainly impact us accordingly. If you always keep complaining about things without prior assessment and understanding, you will stand in low spirits. The best way is to look for opportunities and benefits in tougher and milder situations. We can find a silver lining in every difficult situation if we think positively and keep our nerves under control. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. As the saying goes, man is known by the company he keeps. If you have good company, you will perform well. If you have bad people around you, they will influence you to do bad things. Thus, try to spend your time with those who make you happy and bring the best out of you. Try to spend your time with creative and visionary people. the people who discuss brilliant ideas instead of gossiping about the other people. If you become involved in a bad company, they will discuss other people and make you like them. You will end up corrupting yourself. Such a company is of no use and a stain on your reputation. Thus surround yourself with the people who urge you to do good and inspire to be visionary. You will see the progress yourself in the times to come. Avoid the people who make you feel bad and spread negativity. You will become a pessimistic person under their shadow. You have only one life and you cannot spoil it in miseries and chaos. As the negative people only bring sadness as they are narrow-minded and cannot see beyond their limited approach. You need to hang out with like-minded people who are the source of your strength, not weakness. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your brain is just like a machine. If you are able to control and tame it properly, you will possess the virtues of resilience, strength, and moderation. The outcome of any events depends upon our reaction. In other words, how your brain processes and reacts to it is of vital importance. Just like our body needs food, the brain also needs food for its nourishment. It must be fed with knowledge, wisdom, truth, and justice to overcome the happening and the events outside it. No matter how tough the problem is, if you keep calm and deal with it in an apt manner, you will overcome it. On the other hand, if you panic over every petty issue, then you will blow yourself up. Mind that nothing is permanent, neither pain nor happiness. But if you remain steadfast in both situations, you will know the art to a real happy life. Then, whether it's sorrow or happiness, you will always prevail because you are internally content and keep your mind under control. It's a tough area, but if you are able to master it, you are the most wealthy person in almost all regards.